Hello, world, and welcome back to Pardon the Politics podcast, season 2, episode 33. I am your co-host Jeezy, along with my brother and my partner in politics, Manny. Manny, how you doing today, brother?
Bruh, I am doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing really well because this is a monument for us here at
Uh-oh.
Pardon the Politics. While this is season 2, episode 33, this is
Double three.
also the 50th episode. This is our golden episode, man.
Man,
We've done this 50 times now. And we're
man,
still here.
we still here, man. Man, well, congratulations, G's.
Yeah, man. Congratulations to you too, man.
And congratulations to the listeners who have been with us from day one
Bruh,
all the way till now.
bruh.
Did we think it was going to go this way? No, we thought, everything was going to calm down a little. Maybe we ease into the chaos. But no, y'all have been here rocking with us
Facts.
for 50 episodes.
Yeah. And we do not take that lightly at
Absolutely
all.
not.
So shout out to our day ones. Shout out to our day twos too. If you joined us somewhere between episode 1 and episode 50, that's fine too. You're just as important to us as our day ones. We're just glad that you guys are still here in this chaos that we call politics.
And if you're here for the first time, stand up and say hi. Say hi to your neighbor.
Do we have it like they do in church? Are there any first time visitors here on this day? Stand up and state your name and where you're from, so that we can acknowledge you as our guest.
We hope that this won't be the last time you join us.
Yeah, man. So welcome. This is pretty cool, man. Certainly, when we started this, I didn't know where it was gonna go, but I know it was going somewhere.
But
And we've been fortunate and blessed beyond measure to still be doing it. We haven't even, to our listeners, we haven't even reached a year quite yet of us doing the pod. We're about there. But
a couple more weeks.
Couple of more weeks will be our first anniversary of the podcast. So it's just really nice, man, to know that we have, in spite of our lives as present active Black dads, that we still carve out time to be able to do this and enjoy still doing it at the level that we're doing it at. And we're just so glad that you guys have tuned in and lent us your ears every week for at least an hour to an hour and a half. So we appreciate that.
And what's wild is that with our episodes being about an hour and a half, do you realize that the Trump-Putin summit only lasted an hour longer than the pod?
Bro, that is... So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, the first thing on the docket, as you all know, we had a visitor in the house this past week. On the 15th of this month, President Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin met at Anchorage, Alaska, for a summit. I feel like if you're gonna, there has to be, by definition, a summit has to have some type of like. This was a meeting.
Right, yeah.
They painted this like a summit. They had big signs that said, Alaska 2025. And
I've had longer meetings at work than this summit.
Like this was we'll talk about it. But anyway, this was Putin's first visit to the U.S. in about a decade, I want to say.
Yeah.
And it's his first such on U.S. soil since, I believe it, from information I saw, the 1988 Governor's Island Summit.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while. So maybe he enjoyed his time here. I don't know if there's anything nice to do in Alaska, but...
Look, they got
McDonald's that could have got him.
Or at least they would have flown it in. Yeah. But they do the cruises out there. I would go to vacation in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay,
I would.
Shout out to Alaska, man. Yeah. Shout out to Alaska.
They got listeners from the pod in Alaska. So
okay.
Yeah. So
we shout out to Alaska. We love y'all out there. But this summit, if that's what we're gonna call it, there was a They sat down nearly for 3 hours in a closed door meeting. They had a press conference, and we'll talk about it more in detail. That was very short. I actually tuned in, and I'm thinking like, okay, ready to hear something. Heard nothing. So I want to know your thoughts, Manny, because to me, this seemed really pointless. This could have been. This is what the equivalent of y'all could have sent this in an email. We didn't have to meet. We didn't have to meet.
I mean, it depends on whose side you're on. Like, let's first remember there are criminal warrants from the ICC out on Putin and Big Netty, but we're not going to. This ain't this episode to talk about that. But technically, if when Putin landed here, we were supposed to arrest him,
bruh.
Which leads me to another question. What's the ICC actually doing nowadays? And I don't know, but that we'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
And pointless, I think from the US side, largely pointless.
Yeah.
Depending on where you seat yourself.
Yeah.
But for Putin, I think this was big for him. For him, it gave him legitimacy. Like once again, like, hey, they're bringing me out, and not to fly by the the whole point. Putin used us as his own personal Expedia,
bruh.
It is reported that, and I'll let you guess the number, that Russia asked the U.S. for a litany of visas. Would you like to guess about how many visas the Russian delegation asked for ahead of this summit?
I'm just gonna spitball a number and say 100.
No, they asked in excess of 400 visas.
Yeah,
for them. I'm like, for 2.5 hours, for 3 hours, even for 2-day summit.
Yeah,
400 something visas. The U.S. set up lodging for everybody. People got vacations.
Bruh.
And I would love to know what everyone did during this summit.
What did y'all do while y'all were here?
But I think for Putin, there are a lot of things that he got to kind of, so he got to return back to the global stage. For him, going back into Russia, definitely a big PR victory for him. He really saw a good control of the narrative about all this shift in his favor.
Yeah.
And then, you ever seen, or I know you've heard the song by TLC, No Scrubs.
Yeah.
Bruh, I have never seen Putin look so happy.
Bruh.
As when he was sitting in the Beast, sitting on that passenger side of his best friend's ride. Ha ha and Key King. I hope they swept the Beast. I hope they did. Well, I'm going to assume that.
I would assume that they would.
But just smiling, like that man was happy. This was a win for Putin.
For sure.
I mean, walked out of here with no deal.
Yep.
With nothing. And lots of optics. No, he didn't get new sanctions. Like it was a great win for Putin.
Yeah.
I don't know what Trump got out of this.
I don't, in my opinion, I believe that Trump gained nothing from this. I believe that in all actuality, it was Putin the puppet master. He used this opportunity to maximize whatever he wanted to put out there, controlling the narrative, having that global stance. And when you look at Trump nothing, in my opinion, came out of it in a positive light for Trump. And maybe not even in a negative light. It just seemed to me nothing from his side, from our side.
Now the counterpoint that's out there, and we try again, if you're a first time visitor, we try to be fair and balanced. But this is a podcast, so we can tell y'all what we think.
Yeah.
to see, first off, Putin was on time, and usually that's very rare.
That is rare. I saw that and I was like,
apparently when he met with Obama, he was 45 minutes late. I was
expecting him to be late. I really was. I thought that he was going to try to sit there and make Trump look foolish, have him waiting for him. And when he showed up on time, I was like, oh, okay.
But I also thought there was a chance that Trump was going to be late. And what could have happened is they were both late and just happened to both be there at the same time.
Right.
But to see the counterpoint that's out there is that this was a big flex by Trump. And I can see the argument, hey, Putin, look at all these F-35s. I think that's the planes that they had lining. And then to do the flyover of the B-52 is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's an argument. First of all, there's an argument that it was a waste of money. And yeah, probably.
Agreed.
But to see Putin's kind of reaction when the B-52 flew over could also be like, hey, yeah, this is what we beat all of your defenses with, flying into Iran, dropping these bombs. So, we flew it over so you could see it up close. Big flex. But like, how intimidated is Putin? Like,
by you doing it?
I don't know. And he might have been. But, to see that many of them walking down the red carpet and Putin kind of jumping the planes and Trump is unfazed because obviously he knew what was happening.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, for Trump to not walk out of there with anything, not a peace agreement, not a ceasefire. It didn't even look like he got a basket of chocolate from Russia. I don't know what he got out of this.
You could have just did this over Zoom.
Easily over Zoom.
It saved the taxpayers dollars by doing all these things, because I don't see what you achieved that you haven't been achieving over phone calls.
Right. Unless, and Trump is the quote unquote master deal maker.
Yeah.
Maybe this is an opportunity where he's like, okay, I know I got Ukraine, close to me. Now Putin's really kind of bent into me. So now I can really come in here and shape a peace deal. But I don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't see it because we all know what Putin wants. And
he wants that whole Eastern front. Well, Western front for them, Eastern front for Ukraine. But you've seen the White House narrative almost instantly shift on this. So I don't know what there is really for Trump to gain. Trump came out of this and said Ukraine has to make a deal. Russia is very big and powerful, and they're not. And it's wild. But here's what I think happened in that closed room deal.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You know what time it is? First time in the 50th episode.
you know why I think that meeting was so short? Because what I think happened is Putin pulled up one of those old carts with the TV that they used to roll in the classroom so people could watch the ACC championship. He went and replayed some of the videos he got from the Epstein files. And he's like, hey, this is the new deal. Because if it's not, this is going public. Just
rolled in the car and was like, here's the footage.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was. I think Trump might have walked in there and was like, hey, we're going to negotiate. And he rolled out that footage. He's like,
you want this copy? I got plenty more at the house.
Right. Here you go. Here you go.
Bro. But I will say that why this was more of a win, I feel, for Putin and less for Trump, is we've seen Trump's interaction with these foreign leaders before, and the energy that he brings to it. And I felt that it was very different with Putin. He was very careful to not tip the scale one way or another. He walked a very thin line. And for me,
Publicly.
Publicly, yes, yes. For me, I don't think that's something we're used to seeing with Trump. Trump tries to, when he gets around these in front of a camera, in front of these foreign leaders, he really does try to flex that he's in control.
Yeah.
He didn't do that with Putin. And to me, that was very telling for a man that loves to state his dominance with the ego that we know that Donald Trump has. And for him to walk that tightrope ever so carefully was very telling to me about the approach that he went into and his approach at going into this summit, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
I thought that was very telling of what even happened, because if that is how he acted when they got on the podium, and that was the way that he carried himself when we seen him in the cameras, then I'm really led to believe that when they got behind closed doors, that was the same temperament that he held, and which, in my opinion, that leans heavily into Putin being able to do and flex his way of what he wanted to do and how he was going to approach it and where his stance is with Ukraine. I don't think that there is a deal that can be worked out unless it's the deal that Putin wants.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what is Putin's motivation right now to end this war? And I don't know if he has a strong motivation, because one thing that was really telling from the comments that happened is Trump saying that Putin, Russia was down, but now they're back. And I'm like, oh, so these sanctions aren't working? And if the sanctions aren't working, that's the only real leverage unless the U.S. gets involved militarily. That is the only real leverage that the U.S. has to put pressure on Russia. So, geez, I ask you a question. You watched firsthand the press conference. What do you think about it?
It was weird. Kind of what I was saying before. Trump just really just had this. It was uncharacteristic of how he approached the podium. He was very, hey, this is what I'm saying, that's it. Even the fact that there was no question for reporters, nothing. It was very weird of how they just like, hey, okay, yeah, it's basically, to me, the way I took it as, hey, yeah, we talked, nothing was done, I'm going back home. And I think it was pretty funny what Putin did, because Putin even threw out there, next time we talk, how about you come to Moscow? And when he said that,
I wasn't ready for that.
Trump was not ready for that. He was not ready for that. But I'm glad that Trump thought about it, because he was like, I don't know about that. That might get me in some trouble. But Putin knew what he was doing when he said that. So that's where I'm like, okay, I don't know what was said behind closed doors. We don't know what was said. But in that moment, Putin still, like we've seen him before, was playing that whole cat and mouse game. He was trying to debate Trump into a situation. And to me, that is Putin's strength. He's great at doing that. And for Trump to kind of back off from it a little bit and not, Trump loves talking to the press. He loves talking to the media. For him not to have nothing to say, not giving even Putin the time to even say anything, ask any questions. It was just real. Come out. I don't even think it lasted 10 minutes. And then we're out of here.
There was one point, I keep seeing the video from it, where they're both sitting there and the press starts yelling questions. And Putin's looking like, yo, what? And I think it's the first time, at least in years, where Putin has faced a free press.
I was about to say the free press, yeah, because he like, why are these people talking?
Whoa.
Your press talks over here in this country,
right? And I gotta think behind closed doors, he looks at him. He's like, you let them just do that to you? It couldn't be me though.
Couldn't be me. But he definitely was like, I think it was funny though when they were like, Putin, are you okay with killing innocent people and all this? And then Putin kind of did the thing like, I can't hear you. I
can't hear you. Sorry, speak up.
I don't understand English. And then for them to come out and say he actually knows English quite well, I thought that was like, bro, this dude is like, he might low key be a better troller than Trump.
Most definitely.
He may be, bro.
Definitely.
because I got certain things that he does, man. I'm like, yeah, nah. Putin might be on that level. He might be top tier troller.
I think what people forget about Putin is that he is a former KGB agent.
Oh, bro, facts. People definitely forget that.
Like he's not. People who work in special forces, special forces operators, I don't care what country, they are wired completely differently.
Built and wired different.
And you very rarely see, everything is intentional. And for him to throw that out, to make the comments, it is very interesting. The other thing that I thought was interesting is I keep forgetting that Putin is not a very tall person.
No, he's not.
I forgot he's like 5'7", 5'6".
Because you barely see anybody. You really don't see nobody standing around him like that. Like right. you don't. So when I saw him, I was like, I kind of had forgot myself. Because Trump is a big dude. Trump's what, like 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3", yeah. Like he and I are about the same height.
Yeah. So I'm like, I forget, but don't let that height fool you. This man built different.
Bro, completely different. And here is where I thought the U.S. did great. Or at least the administration, I thought, was doing well. We hadn't heard of any mistakes made by the administration. Everything went according to plan until.
I was about to say, yeah. We definitely. Come on now.
Until it came out that 8 pages of documents were accidentally left on a hotel printer.
Yo.
And that's wild. Like, first off, I was just like,
who is printing documents down in the lobby at the Holiday Inn, bro? Why does the government not have, bro? Why on the plane do they not have an office for printing and all this stuff anyway? Like,
I thought either this stuff would have already been printed out,
bro. Wow.
Because here's what's trippy about it as I start putting it together. For it to be on the hotel printer, that means you were using the hotel's internet, the hotel's network security.
Yes.
Like and I don't know if this is just this administration or has it been all the administrations and we're just now seeing it publicly. Not an expert in network security, but I would have just figured that the U.S. travels with its own stuff. This is another this is another example of the U.S. government just using the same stuff that we use here every day.
How are y'all in the government and you are doing the same thing? First of all, I'm not even gonna say the same thing because I'm not using a hotel printer.
Bro, no.
Bro, every time I've gone to a hotel, do we all see the business section? Yes.
Yep.
Most of the people that I feel like are using those are half the time sketchy people. I'm sorry. What is so desperate of a need of you that you have to go down to the business computer center and print out papers at the Holiday Inn?
Well, I'll take that back. I've done it within the last 5 years. But usually if I'm printing something, I'm still sending that to FedEx Kinko's. Like I'm not using the hotel. I don't know why. The only time I've used a hotel printer is if I was at a conference in which the conference was at using that print. But I'm not using that for key things. And I think that's the thing that threw me off is it was very detailed. So what we learned from it was very detailed meeting schedules and precise locations. I don't know. I think the Secret Service might have a problem with this.
Bruh.
But it had the phone numbers of at least 3 U.S. government staffers that were involved with the planning. And the lunch. So there was apparently supposed to be a working lunch. And I'm not going to lie. This lunch looked amazing. At least from it. It was filet mignon with brandy peppercorn sauce.
Ooh.
Buttery whipped potatoes and roasted asparagus.
Okay.
Green salad with champagne vinaigrette.
Okay.
And halibut and creme brulee for dessert. That sounds like a good ass meal.
No, for lunch.
For lunch. For lunch.
Nah, I gotta go back to the hotel and lay down for a little bit after I eat that.
Right. So The hotel Captain Cook in Anchorage when we go.
Oh yeah,
that's apparently where we got to go.
Okay,
but yeah, that lunch looked amazing. We also found out about a gift that Putin planned to get. I'm sorry, Trump planned to give Putin, which was American bald eagle death statue. And knowing Trump, this thing was probably ridiculous in size.
Bruh. Bro, why do we have to? I just gotta ask. Why do these grown men have to give each other gifts?
Well, it's not uncommon for leaders to give stuff to each other. But
I mean, yeah, but why? Why? Who started this trend?
I don't know. Well, I know like the first ladies are known for like when the US government has state dinners. Usually we get gifted like plate sets and stuff like that. But that's not the funniest thing, at least for me. They gave out name and pronunciation with phonetic guides of everyone that was going to be involved in these meetings. So people would say the name right.
Bruh.
Putin. Putin. P-O-O. This first part. P-O-O-TIHN. Putin. But still, back to the bigger thing. Why are we using the hotel printer?
Bruh. I'm lost.
And these were discovered 9 a.m. the morning of the summit.
So you printed, first of all, you printed them, signed out of that computer, and walked back to your room. You were down there for the purpose of the papers to begin with. How irresponsible can you be?
Somebody said, "Oh, it printed out. Look, it printed out 9 copies. They apparently must have asked for like 9 copies correlated. Got the copies they needed and went up to the room, and that last set was coming out."
That is wild, bro. What kind of, like you said, now unless this happens and this happens more frequent than we know, and we're just now hearing how this happens, I gotta believe that if our country is running like this, we got a problem.
But what, like
my 5-year-old is more responsible than that. And you work for the administration, and you're printing papers down in the lobby and walking back up to your room, and totally, you didn't even say that. Oh man, I forgot to grab them papers. Nothing even kicked in you to say, man, I never grabbed them papers. Let me go back down to the lobby and get them. You just left them.
Even when I'm at work and I print something, I still stand there the entire time.
Oh, facts.
Wait for it all to print. I even wait longer. Just like, okay, nothing else is coming out. Just in case I accidentally send something to the printer that I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah. So on this summit that happened, and Putin's gone back home, with no deal, no agreement in place. I think he said like there were conversations, but nothing was agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that this probably racked the nerves of Zelensky a lot, because he doesn't know what was said. And in this situation, and we've seen it before, I think when Trump had talked to Putin before, then he kind of like he sided with Russia and was like, well, Ukraine needs to do this. Then he talked to Zelensky, and then he's like, well, then now Russia needs to do this. And now we see that they've met, and I believe when this episode drops on Monday, Zelensky's on his way he's on his way to DC, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There's an entire squad that are allegedly heading up to have this big meeting with Trump. A lot of our NATO allies, and good for them. Like, here's the one thing that I believe Trump has said that's been true about this entire situation.
Yeah.
Europe, this is your boy.
Yeah.
We're here because we have interests.
Yeah.
But this is, y'all got to help them out. And so I think it's good for the EU and to be there, but yeah, they are on their way here, I would assume, for a big sit down.
Well, I'm interested in when they do have this sit down. I'm very interested in seeing what the tone and what the energy is when Trump finishes whatever this discussion that they have. Will it be the same as it was when he was on stage with Putin? Or does I don't think it is. I don't think it is either. But I'd be interested to see it. Because if you the big Don Dada, your energy, I think you should have had a much stronger approach to Putin. Certainly should have gave off more of a I'm in control type of vibe. If you go and you have that same, you have a different energy when you talk to Zelensky, I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, and for details, okay, so the meeting on Monday is going to be Zelensky, European Commission President von der Leyen, German Chancellor Merz, Keir Starmer from the UK, President Emmanuel Macron.
Oh, Macron coming.
Now, I wonder if he's going to swing by Delaware and have this conversation with Candace Owens. But we'll see how that plays out. But also the Finnish president will also be there and involved in discussions. And I think that's going to be the biggest topic. What did y'all talk about?
Yeah.
What do they want? And we know what they want. They want the land. Well, we want the land. We know what Russia wants. Russia wants Ukraine.
Yep.
But they will settle for the land. And I think if I'm Zelensky, no.
Yeah. Because then what is enough?
Right.
If I give you this land on the east, then what's to stop you coming even further?
10 years from now, 15 years from now.
There's not going to be an end to this.
Right.
This is just giving him what he wants until now. And we know that if, like you said, he wants Ukraine completely.
Yeah.
What he settles for is fine, but then once he's not satisfied with what he's settled with and he wants more, then what?
Right. Yeah. What at what point becomes enough?
Yep. So I mean I agree with Zelensky. You absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right.
But then does Ukraine, because this war has gone on for some time.
Right. You remember when we thought this was only going to be like 4 days?
We thought that this was going to be a weekend war. We was like, bro, ain't no way in the world Ukraine got a chance. And
without the U.S. stepping in militarily, we were like, ain't no way.
Ain't no way, bro. These boys is fighting.
Yeah.
But at some point, enough, you can't hold back but so much. And we've seen that Russia has made some advancements.
Yeah.
They
have that whole
regions.
Donetsk region.
Yep.
They've had Crimea for years now.
Yep.
I don't know. Like who polices, and then ultimately who polices it? Yep. And I think that's got to be the question they have. And if I'm Zelensky and I'm sitting in that room with Trump and he's like, hey, you got to give up the land. And I'm like, hey, let's philosophically, let's just walk this out. What, to your point, what prevents them from going forward? Who enforces it? Is it going to be the UN? Are you all? Is NATO? Who's going to enforce them? Who's going to tell them, no, this is the line, they can't come further?
Yep.
Because there have been referendums.
Yeah.
And I think there was one early on in the war about, hey, do you want to stay in Ukraine, stay as part of Ukraine, or go over and become Russian territory? They voted for to become Russian territory. And
really?
Yeah, but there's a whole lot of disputes around that. How valid? No one knows how fair that was.
Because it's Putin.
Right. So I think the biggest thing that Zelensky has to do is reset the narrative.
Yeah.
And that they want peace. You know, I never think that this has been a situation where Ukraine hasn't wanted peace, but they also want what is actually theirs. And I think it'll also be interesting to see how Zelensky dresses.
Bruh. Oh, because last time he was here, hey, why you ain't never got no suit on?
The piece, if I'm being petty, I'm showing up to this in a tan suit.
Bruh. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely pulling out the Obama collection.
I'm showing up with a tan suit and be like, hey, you asked me why I not dress up? Here I'm dressed up.
Bruh, I would come fitted up, dipped in butter.
Right. But there's got to be, I would assume, seeing how Trump's stance has taken that, like, hey, Ukraine has to make a deal. That's an incorrect way to put it. So there's definitely a lot of pressure, and it'll be interesting to hear the additional feedback.
Yeah.
My guess is that what will end up happening, and if you've been listening to this pod, the boys, when we make some serious predictions, we usually are pretty spot on
pretty
with
close.
what we say. I think what comes out of this is, I think Trump maybe softens his stance a little, not a whole lot. I wouldn't be shocked if we hear Trump say something to the effect, hey, let's at least get a ceasefire so we can, try to get some direct negotiations. And I think that's what they eventually push to. But I think what you also hear coming out of there is a lot of these countries now say in Europe, especially the UK, Europe, Finland, you hear those countries step up and say, we are going to help support Ukraine even more.
Yeah.
But I think that's the outcome. I think that's the best case scenario. Like, I would be shocked that if we came out of here to hear Ukraine say, hey, we will agree to give up this land. I would be crazily shocked. I think the most likely scenario we're going to see is them come out and say, hey, it is now time for trilateral talks, the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine. And I think you will see the EU kind of force themselves into that. So I think it becomes the EU, the US, Ukraine, and Russia. Because at this point, I don't know if I'm Zelensky, if I can really trust the US to be a full even side partner. But I think from that same side, it becomes an issue with Russia, because in some way of discussion, you still look across, you see the Ukraine, their opponent, you see the EU joining that, and that clearly on Ukraine's side. And then best case for Russia, they see the U.S. as neutral.
Yeah.
Because the one piece that Putin said during his time and in his first comments was that the U.S. and Russia are very close neighbors. And I'd be forgetting that sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it said it's like 40 some odd miles across the strait between Russia and Alaska.
Very close.
And he's right. We're but let's also not forget, Russia low-key wants Alaska too.
Bruh.
At one point, I believe Alaska was part of Russian territory. So and there's some talks that have been out there, none of which I've actually spent some time digging into, that, the U.S. acquired Alaska, quote unquote, illegally. I don't know how true that is. I would not shock me, but also this did only happen in the 50s. I feel like we'd hear a whole lot more about it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. There's a lot of risk for Ukraine, and it's just growing, not even just militarily. And the other X factor, you could see Ukraine go crazy for a little bit and them really going at Moscow, which I think would be, I thought there was going to be more blowback from Russia to Ukraine after we saw all these drone attacks.
The drone attacks. Yeah,
and there wasn't. There was pushback, but I thought I thought this was going to be the one that opened it up. And
especially with the drone attack happening in Moscow, I was like, oh yeah, Russia's about to go ham. And then everything kind of just stayed the same, and I was like, That was weird.
And I wonder how much was at play in that.
True.
Like, was Trump like, hey, don't go crazy, chill out? Was there calls? Do we even know? Was there calls from Ukraine to Russia saying, hey, we're about to do this? We don't know. So,
well, I think we'll keep a quarter in the parking meter and see what happens this week when this meeting pops off. But something I was going to ask you before we move on is that if there is a meeting where you have the EU, you have Russia, you have Ukraine, and you have the United States, where do you think this meeting takes place at?
Switzerland.
Okay.
I think there are one or two places. Either it takes place in Switzerland because it's damn Switzerland.
I heard Switzerland's nice, bro.
I have too. I think the other outside ones is I think you watch the UAE. I think you also watch Saudi Arabia. I think those are all locations where this. I don't see it happening in Russia. Definitely not going to happen in Ukraine. Brussels, not Brussels. Is it Bulgaria?
Bulgaria.
Who was the country that joined? Damn it! Let me look it up on a map. Oh man, it starts with a B, and I cannot think of it.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either.
Hold on. Usually we're a little bit more prepared than this on the pod, but every now and then,
Hey.
But we want to get this right for y'all. All right. Belarus. There it is. Yeah. I think Belarus might push to be a location, but they can't be seen as a fair party. So I say Switzerland. I say the UAE, Saudi Arabia. Chance it comes back to the U.S.
I mean, not that far from. They can hit Alaska again.
Yeah. Could it also happen in D.C.? Absolutely. Absolutely. But the optics,
bro,
the optics of having
these
Putin,
foreign leaders, yeah, bro,
it's wild.
Putin in D.C. would be wild, bro. I mean, hey, it'll be safe because with the National Guard on the streets,
bro, wandering around
look. And now here's a segue.
Yeah, it all fits together. I'm real. Since our 50th episode, to our listeners, we don't always know how we're going to segue from subject to subject, but sometimes it just falls together. And this is one of those times.
Sometimes Dwayne Wade just throws the ball up and it just finds LeBron's hand for the dunk. It just happens. But I don't think it's going to happen in DC. But again, DC is a little safer now. So there has been a federal takeover of the DC police, and there has been National Guard deployment. So we talked about it in the last episode that there was going to be this announcement coming that Trump was going to have. And first of all, the press conference was wild.
And we said that on the last episode that this was probably going to be it.
So ding, boys called it again. So Trump got up there, and I just want to say this. As a person who, my wife is from, and my in-laws live in Maryland, and they're about 15, 20 minutes from DC. I go into DC quite often. I love DC. And I've never felt unsafe in DC. But if you've gone to any major city, there's going to be crime. But trust me, if you ever go to DC, there are white people walking in the hood. It can't be that bad. I'm just gonna say that it can't be that bad. I was at RFK Stadium, which is the old Redskins Stadium, or Commanders, whichever one you prefer to call them.
I say, whoa.
I had to preface it, but the old stadium that they played in RFK is in the hood.
Smack that in the hood.
I go there because they have like a market every Saturday, and there's a Senegalese restaurant that I go there to get some food. I think it's called Coed Grill. If you know, you know. If you're ever in DC, hit up Coed Grill. It's Senegalese food. They have the best jollof rice, the best lamb, the best goat. It's amazing. But it's in the hood, and I remember pulling in one day, and across the street, there's white family with the helmets and bikes on, riding around the kids in the neighborhood. So then when Trump gets up here on this press conference and he's talking about how dangerous DC is, I'm like, it ain't that dangerous if white people feel comfortable riding bikes in the hood.
and I went and ran the numbers.
Yeah.
So there are, based on 2024 FBI data, there are a couple cities that are more dangerous than Washington, D.C. One was actually really shocking to me. Okay. And that is Denver, Colorado. And
your neck of the woods.
I was shocked. I was like, wait a second. Denver is also a city of which I don't feel in any danger walking around. Mm-hmm. I'm talking going back there with the fam, going back to doing my return trip with the family.
Yeah.
And these numbers are based on violent crime rates per 100,000 residents.
Okay.
Washington, D.C. is 925.9. Denver is 993 per 100,000. Mm-hmm. Number one on this list, Memphis.
Oh, yeah, I can believe that.
Memphis. So top three, Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, Houston. We were just in Houston not too long ago.
Felt safe to me.
Shout out to Velvet Taco.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Camp too.
Camp.
We gonna talk about that. Like,
bro, I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
But bro, he got up here and on this press conference, he was like, DC's more dangerous than Mexico City. He said Panama City. And then this fool, if I'm not mistaken, he got up there and said it was more dangerous than Baghdad. I said, now come on, Trump. I know. All right. I would definitely not walk around Baghdad. I wouldn't walk around Mexico City. Wouldn't walk around Panama either. Are you really trying to convince me that DC is that dangerous? But to his base, how many of them have ever been to DC?
Bruh.
How many of them have actually been to DC? They believe that this is just a issue that is stirred up. And the numbers for DC, well, and let me say this, I'm not saying that DC doesn't have any crime. Any major city
absolutely is going to have crime.
Is going to have crime. But the numbers statistically for DC have been going down. They have been trending down. So
DC, though, is considered to be moderate to high crime. So other cities, you mentioned one, other cities internationally, Johannesburg, South Africa, Mexico City, Naples, and we're going to stop because I got a quick story here. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now, when I was 12, I went on a church mission trip to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And I remember, and it is a vivid core memory from Brazil. Mm-hmm. There are three core memories I have from Brazil. One is we were going up to a zoo and there was they had these beautiful blue butterflies. Mm-hmm. And I remember taking a picture and no less than 5 seconds later, I watched that butterfly get hit by a car.
Bro.
Core memory. I was like, whoa, that's wild. The second one was when I found out that I was going to be allergic to seafood for the rest of my life, having that crab.
That happened in Brazil?
That happened in Rio. Yep. The third is we were out one night going to get pizza. Mm-hmm. It's like 11 o'clock. So, but we're like on a 4 or 5 hour time difference. So we ain't really feel it like that. So we're out walking. Me and my friend Richard, we're probably like a half a block ahead of the rest of our group. We're the only two boys on this trip. There's like 7 other girls and then chaperones. And it's probably like a 1-to-1 chaperone to kid ratio.
Yeah.
So we're walking. We see this pizza place get robbed. And these guys run out with guns. Me and my friend Richard. Now, Jeezy, you've known me a long time.
Yes, sir.
And one thing that you know is that I do not run. I do not like running. It is not one of my personal pastimes. Sir, we turned around and we sprinted.
Out of there.
Back to the hotel. Did not stop. I know that group said, Emmanuel's running.
Bruh.
He don't run. He don't run.
There's danger.
We'll find out when we get back. Because they hear the gunshots.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, what's happening? So we tell them when we get back. Core memory.
Bro, that is wild.
Core memory. So, but again,
you can validate that this is true.
It's kind of hot in the streets in Rio. Now, again, that was 12, so we're decades from that.
Yeah.
But still, not too far from DC is also London, Paris, as well. So, on a scale of 1 to 100, DC is ranked 65, London is 54. Rio is 70. Johannesburg, South Africa is 80. Mexico City, 65. So you're about as safe walking around Mexico City as you are DC. So maybe we need to go to Mexico City.
Yeah, maybe it ain't. Yeah. But with him doing this, and I think that he deployed like 800 National Guard troops.
Not counting FBI, DEA.
Yep.
So it's probably closer to about 1,000 service personnel.
So with him doing this, and I believe that they're going to be authorized, I think pretty soon, that they'll be able to carry weapons as well. I don't think right now that they're carrying any major weapons or anything, but that could change. And then you have some state support coming in where you got West Virginia, South Carolina, and Ohio that are sending additional National Guard units. I think it's like 300 to 400 from West Virginia, 200 from South Carolina, and I think 150 military police from Ohio.
Ain't no one come from Maryland?
Nah.
That's shocking.
Is this
it's not.
It's not.
It's not. Wes Moore came out and put up a video, and he said, I am the leader of the National Guard here, and they will not be going on the ground there unless there is an emergency or threat to life.
But to that, is this necessary, what he's doing? Because he's also thrown out the idea of going into other cities and doing the same thing, which is, oddly enough, all of these places are Democrat-ran cities.
Mm-hmm.
Is this necessary, and is this a far reach of what this administration is trying to do, or their power of that sort? I mean, he's within his realm, I would assume, legally to do these things, but why is this necessary?
Show of force. So let's talk about the Home Rule Act.
The Home Rule Act. Yeah.
So. And specifically 740, because that's what he executed to be able to do this. Section 740 grants the president authority to federalize the Metropolitan DC force during emergencies. Now, what we have seen from COVID on, the term emergencies is used very, very freely.
Very, very freely.
But what 740 allows him to do is take over DC temporarily. So he can only do it for 48 hours unless he notifies Congress. And he did that almost immediately. He said, and with that notification to Congress, he can now hold it for 30 days. And it's going to be interesting because, I did some additional research into how he could do it in other places. And there is something that allows him to do it. The biggest one that we hear about is the Insurrection Act. That allows the president to deploy armed forces to a state, at the request of the governor, with consent, obviously. But without consent, if there is an insurrection or domestic violence obstructing federal law, which, hey, January 6th seems like it would have been a perfect time, but neither here nor here. The Insurrection Act was last used in 92 during the Rodney King riots. But that was done at the request of the California governor.
Yeah.
There are some other cases that, it's been done, but they all get really, really funky. And so the Enforcement Act, sorry, I had to make sure I had the right one from my notes. The Enforcement Act of 1870 through 1871. And it was a restriction era law designed to let the federal government crush organized violence. It's largely focused on the Ku Klux Klan. Okay. But basically, what happens is the president determines that the rights are being denied by force or conspiracy, and sees that a state government is unable or unwilling to control the situation. Basically, the president issues a proclamation ordering them to disperse, and if ignored, federal forces, including the army, may be deployed, and habeas corpus may be suspended in the areas. Where this becomes concerning is we talked about it last episode. Mm-hmm. We saw habeas corpus kind of stripped away from being listed on there. There have been several other times where they talked about suspending habeas corpus. Mm-hmm. And for me, where this gets concerning is if you're watching what's happening with Texas and the redistricting. Mm-hmm. And everyone going into Illinois, and Chicago being a city that Trump explicitly called out.
Yep.
And on top of that, you also see what California is doing with its redistricting. Could this be the start in the preparation of understanding the legal challenges? So let's say California does redistrict.
Yeah.
Can Trump determine that the rights are being denied essentially by conspiracy and send in the National Guard to completely devoid the argument there, the elections there in 26, if it passes?
Man, that would be crazy.
But not outside the realms of possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. I can definitely see, because in my opinion, it feels as though this is an authoritarian overreach, right?
Absolutely.
This is what it feels like.
Absolutely.
Yep. That he's doing. But also, I love the point that you're bringing. This could really be testing the framework legally of what he is able to do and how far he can stretch outside of that, and it'd be okay.
The one thing that we know about this administration, this is not a dumb administration.
Nah, bro.
Everything is super intentional.
Bro, it's wild. And it makes the crazy thing for us is that this is so uncommon to see from an administration that it's going to challenge us as the American people to understand what these laws are, because some of these things we've never seen exercised before. Right. We've never seen some of these things brought up and used and willed in a way to do the things that this administration is doing. But certainly these are powers that are in the tool belt of the president. Mm-hmm. So then now, with learning this as the American people, will there be conversations and discussion of what actual powers should and should not the president be able to have?
Absolutely.
If we see this administration in a way, and I'm saying this in the way that this administration is abusing it, but they're not necessarily abusing it because it's their right.
It's theirs. Yep. But it's being used in ways that we did not intend. It is not being used in the spirit of what we expected it to be used for.
Mm-hmm. And now that conversation may have to happen after this administration finishes, because like you said, legally, this administration is not dumb at all at pulling these things and using and wielding these things in a way to accomplish what they want to accomplish. It may really need to be a conversation to be had.
Well, and I think where we've benefited is that there's always been a balance of power.
Yep.
We've had a Supreme Court that has largely been independent.
Yeah.
We've had a Congress that I won't say has been independent, but we've had a Congress of the most ambitious individuals that wanted to do everything that they could to ensure that they didn't lose any of the power that we have here. And I think that is what's so concerning, that we've seen in so many instances where these institutions have essentially bent the knee to the president. So some of these protections have now been eroded that we've had for years. And now, it's like we haven't had a bully in a long time.
Yeah.
So in that, we've kind of low key forgot how to fight.
Yep.
And now that we have a bully, we're like, oh, we gotta fight now. Let me go put a kente cloth on and take a knee. Or let me just get up here and talk for 25 hours to stop to try to stop something that isn't really going to be impactful here. Watch me be celebrated for it.
Yeah.
We've forgotten how to truly fight. And it's going to be interesting. Now, I think it is key to mention with all of this, none of this happened with DC lying down.
No.
So by Tuesday, federal forces began to arrive and focused on the nightlife districts. We saw homeless camps. I think on that first Tuesday, somewhere between 70 to 75 homeless encampments were cleared out. And then by Wednesday, the DC Attorney General, Brian Schwab, I think that's how you say his name, filed a lawsuit to block the takeover, arguing that it violated the Home Rule Act and local autonomy. Civil rights groups hopped in. By Thursday, U.S. District Judge J.C. Anna Reyes refused to block the immediate order, but she did strike down the attempt to replace Police Chief Pamela Smith with a new federal commissioner. And then by Friday, White House kind of backed off its plan to replace the police commissioner. But there's still a lot that we're going to learn about this. And there have been heavy protests. We've seen the return of the No Kings protests that I believe have been happening daily since this has started. In terms of policing, Saturday there was 52 arrests made. So and then we're still seeing people protest outside of embassies, federal buildings, and outside of the White House. So, but now what's interesting is that the business owners in there are starting to complain that they're starting to lose revenue.
Yep.
Because who's really excited to go eat at a place when you got police kind of posted out in front of it? So, and then there are now also additional appeals that are going to happen to try to reduce control. But from my understanding, there is nothing that's going to be done for this next 30 days until essentially Congress comes back. So I think this is the status quo until September 10th, unless somebody else steps in to help kind of moderate or say, hey, this can't stand in legally. But I'm not seeing that as a possibility at this standpoint.
Well, I'm supposed to be going up to the DC area in a couple of weeks. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go take a stroll on the National Mall and get some live footage to see how it is, man. Because it's certainly, if some of those places have a lot of eateries that have nice outside dining, and I just can only imagine how dulling the experience can be when you got National Guards walking around and it's weird. But I might have to go check it out, man, and see what's going on. But we'll see how long. You said what he has now that he's notified Congress. He 30 days, right?
Yeah, it's got to September 10th.
Okay.
For Congress now, Congress could extend it out, and Congress does come back into session, I believe, the week of the 19th or so. So they are coming back into session. They could extend it. I just see it. I don't know if extension of the power needs to be done by 2/3 or a majority.
Okay.
But if it's 2/3, we know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
But if it is by simple majority, it could happen. But Trump even himself came out and said that this was going to be quick.
Yeah, he did.
Which leads to tell me that it probably needs to be done by 2/3, but it likely he knows he don't got the votes.
Yeah. So we'll see if he achieves what he's out trying to achieve by doing this. I know that there were some power issues where I guess Pam Bondi was supposed to be in charge, but then that later was refuted, and I think the Mayor Bowser is still in control.
Yep.
So at least there's involvement from her standpoint. But certainly I would love to see after all of this has cleaned up or been done, where does that leave DC? Because if you kick the homeless people out and say they got to move and go here and go there, then after them 30 days, won't they just come back? So then what are you going to do this again? Like,
so based on what, just a quick search that I did, based on what I understand, House just needs simple majority. Senate needs 60.
Okay.
So they need at least 7 Democratic senators to keep this moving. I don't see it. Now, crazier things have happened.
It's very true. We did see, just like old girl from Alaska that was a Democrat with the big beautiful bill. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for it, but hopefully it comes back and
right.
There may be 1 or 2 idiots that might fall in line with it. We'll see.
But I don't see the math. It's not mathing like I expected.
Well, if we have any listeners in the DC area, let us know how the streets feeling up there, man. Let us know how y'all feeling. Has it dulled the experience of enjoying? Because there are some very nice areas to walk around and enjoy in DC. I certainly would think that some of these business owners, I don't want military people walking around the streets just killing the vibe. Because DC is a vibe. If you've never been, please go. DC really is a vibe, and they have a great culture.
And the thing is, we're getting ready to get out of boiling hot season. Yeah. So it's actually good, like the humidity
that nice
is going to be.
Yeah, when we get into that fall weather, bro, that's perfect. That's perfect time to be out in the streets.
Be down in the harbor, like.
So yeah, man, we'll see what happens, and we'll certainly see after this is done. Does he kick into his next phase of trying to take this deal that he's got going on, taking it on the road and going to some other major cities? But I gotta think though, Manny, there ain't no Republican cities that need cleaning up.
I mean, probably. I mean, there's a state that needs money. Looking at you, Nebraska. Like I just think money I just think money could be better allocated into some places. You know, where did that energy go? That energy died real fast. Real fast. So what about us being, fiscally responsible? What happened to those Republicans?
Bro. Different time, man. It's a different time. We in the end game now, buddy.
Right. Right. We in the upside down. We are in the upside down.
Bro, well, we'll see how this continues to play out. And will Trump try to continue to extend it out? Certainly, this is going to be very interesting how all this pans out. So we shall see. But now we're at that time of the episode, bro. We're at a pickle. The pickle of the week. And I got a surprise for you this week.
I have 2 pickles. I have 2 pickles. I have 2 pickles today. Hey,
I got 2. I got 2 pickles today, brother.
Pause.
Definitely pause.
Definitely pause.
Political pause here. But I got 2 pickles for the week.
Uh-oh. Double Brianing. Who are the brine partners this week?
The 2 pickles that we got in the brine is going to start with first. We're going to go down to South Carolina. We're going to be in the South. These 2
our neighbors down
in the South. We're going to be in the South this on this segment. The first political pickle is going to be in South Carolina, and it is the Democratic hopeful William Mullins McLeod.
Oh.
So, for those of you that don't know, Mullins is a Charleston-based personal injury attorney and a lovely father of 4. And he is officially entered into the 2026 South Carolina governor's race early this week.
Okay.
So he's putting.
Oh, he just got in. He just got in.
He throwing his hat into the game. Democrat. So, shortly after launching his campaign, there was some footage, dash cam and body cam footage that had surfaced from his May 14th, 2025 arrest.
Oh, this year. Okay.
Oh yeah, like 90 days ago. So there was a video that came out, and I'm just gonna play a little clip of it.
Oh no. Oh no.
For our listeners, and here you go. You can hear for yourself.
Hey folks, why you stupid? Okay? At this point in the story, why you thought he was on the moon and Andrew Chisholm was a fucking well, guess what? When I'm done, Andrew Chisholm, my fucking is gonna be on the moon. And Elon, I don't have to go any further. You ain't getting the Mars, you dumb. You know?
Yeah, bro.
Did he just say Whitey was on the moon?
Whitey was on the moon.
At first, where is this man's shirt?
Bruh. So
what is happening? Bruh.
He was only wearing his underwear and shoes.
Bruh.
He went into this erratic profanity laced tirade in the back of the police cruiser. He called himself God and Superman, refusing to give his name, using the N-word repeatedly, and threatened state politicians, including the Republican AG Al Williams, while yelling he'd kick their effing teeth in. Now,
what in the Grant? First off, why are you going to attempt to run for governor
when you know this is out there?
Recently, not like you did this a decade ago and you forgot, sir.
Bruh, this happened less than 90 days ago.
And why were you in your underwear?
It had shoes on. I
don't think there's was your house on fire? Were you smoking a cigarette and everything just went up? And you got 4 kids. Look,
bruh, you doing too much. Now, South Carolina Democratic Party has publicly urged him to drop out, citing serious concerns about his mental and his emotional health. But despite these calls, he said, I ain't going nowhere.
I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. He responded by saying that he was refusing to stand down, and in a campaign video, he said, "No matter how much they try to silence me, I would not stand down." He's characterized the fallout as a political storm he's prepared for his whole life. Sir, get your hat, get your coat, and leave. Good day, sir. You need to drop out.
But then also, why have you prepared for this particular storm your entire life? Like,
but there's a whole lot of storms that I could think of that I could prepare for, and this ain't one of them.
Not at all. I've not prepared for a day where I'm outside in my underwear and shoes, yelling Whitey on the moon.
Whitey on the moon, bro. And Andrew Jackson is a effing N-word. What, bro? What? What were you tweaking about,
bro?
But that's just my first pickle.
Oh no.
Yeah, so you see, in all that, you probably forgot that I got another one.
I did.
So then we're gonna keep, like I said, we're gonna keep it down south, and we're gonna go to New Orleans. Shout out to New Orleans. If you're ever in New Orleans on Bourbon Street, go to Felix. They got the best char grill oysters you've ever had in your life. I promise you. I've been trying to get back just for the oysters alone. But that's not why we're here for a pickle. The pickle is none other than the mayor of New Orleans, LaToya Cantrell. LaToya Cantrell has been indicted by a federal grand jury, becoming the first sitting mayor in the city's 300-year history to face criminal charges.
What'd she do?
I'm glad you asked. She's charged in an alleged long-running scheme beginning back in October of 2021 involving a personal and intimate relationship with her on-duty bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappy, despite being paid by taxpayers. They say that prosecutors say that the pair used over 15,000 encrypted WhatsApp messages, which were later deleted to conceal their relationship and coordinate the scam details. They allegedly exploited city funds for 14 domestic and international trips together, including a visit to Martha's Vineyard, while still billing Vappy as on duty. Over $70,000 in public money was reportedly spent. She is facing 18 criminal charges or counts, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 6 counts, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, and false declarations under oath to a grand jury. Now, she's at her term limit, and she leaves office January 2026, and she has not made any public comments yet. No. And the city won't comment either until the mayor's attorney has reviewed the indictment. So, bro.
Oh, like we said, if the feds got something on you, they got something on you.
Bro.
And they know that.
Bro. Why?
Bro. Look. New Orleans might be in a pickle.
Bro. Just might be.
Because there was a new documentary who dropped on Hulu just recently that talks about Hurricane Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not all the way done with it yet, so I won't fully comment. But it's something. It must be something down in that water,
bro.
Because y'all mayors be wilding.
Or is the season in one?
Bro. One of the two. One of the two.
It's something in the jambalaya, bro. But she was getting the pot stirred on company dollar, bro.
Bro. Was listening or saw the movie The Bodyguard and got inspired.
Bro, like, why? Just why, man?
Just why? It
ain't nothing, it ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what you want to do. But just don't do it on the company dollar, though. Come on. You got to be smarter than that.
Right.
$70,000? 14 trips?
But honestly, when you started it, I thought it was a lot more. Like,
I mean, yeah.
I thought we were going to be pushing like $500,000.
Well, see that makes it even worse, because if you gonna do it, baby, do it all the way.
if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
Bruh, I ain't gonna go and rob a bank and take $20. I'm getting all I can get.
Empty the safe.
Yeah, I need all the funds. You did all this, but this the thing, and you already know things get audited. People look at details. Why are you going to say that the man is working on the clock? That means that there's records, there's documentation showing him he's on the clock. And he is on the clock. He just ain't on their clock. He on your clock.
Bruh.
You got to be smarter than that.
You got to be smarter than that.
So those are my two pickles of the week, man. Those two got a little situation. Look, Mullins down there in South Carolina, you got to sit down. And Mayor of New Orleans, all I'm gonna say is peace be the journey.
Yeah, because
they on you.
On you.
They even talking about it. They got that how many text messages you done deleted. They got you.
They got you. They got you. Just go ahead and say, yeah, I did this.
That's why she made no comment yet.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Not I'm gonna fight this. Like, dang.
We ain't got that yet. This ain't sitting outside on the porch scratching her head like, all right. Well, what we gonna do here?
Smoking a Newport.
Yep. Got her Virginia Slim.
And now, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the bodyguard.
Yeah, because hey, look, I ain't got a dog in the fight. She the one said I was working. I was working, but I won't doing that type of work.
I mean, I was doing that type of work, but I didn't think I was doing that type of work.
I was
on
guarding.
The clock.
I was guarding body, all right. I just didn't know I was doing it on the clock.
Right.
But that body was guarded. So those are my pickles for the week, man. So as we always do at the end of our episode, guys, we come and give you our spotlights of the week. So, brother, what you got for this week?
Man, in continuation of the fallout from the big beautiful bill. Let's come back to the good old state. Good old North Carolina. Medicaid in North Carolina will start being cut. So there is a 319 million shortfall that will take effect starting October 1st. Lawmakers only approved 500 million of the total requested 819 million needed for the next budget cycle. So there are going to be some cuts, at least a 3% cut across the board to provider rates, 8 to 10% in cuts for inpatient, residential, and autism-specific behavioral care. There are 43,500 recipients of GLP-1 drugs that have been prescribed for diabetes or heart disease that lose that coverage. There's a pilot program like the Health and Opportunities for Integrated Care for Kids. That program is about to get shut down. These state level cuts will cause $1.1 billion in loss in federal Medicaid matching funds. And nearly 2.8 million Medicare beneficiaries will see reduced access as providers now will have to make some decisions about exiting areas and programs because of the lower reimbursement rates. So, yeah, North Carolina, we are in a pickle now.
I'm about to say, this doesn't sound beautiful.
It does not. It does not. So now the legislature could still act to give the additional money, but there's already a stopgap that has been signed. That's what got up to the 500 million. It'll be interesting to see what else will be done. And big thing is how providers will react. So, yeah, that is my spotlight. We'll watch this play out over the next couple months, and we'll see what happens. Because people will be none too happy if they start losing coverage, and especially in the poorer areas across the state.
Yeah, that's not good.
But that is my spotlight.
All right. Well, I got one that's just pretty simple. So we talked about this before, but we know that Republicans in Texas have been pushing to do their redistrict plan, aiming to add 5 GOP leaning congressional seats before the 2026 election. But we have a response from another state, and that is California. In response to what Republicans are doing in Texas, California Governor Gavin Newsom has launched a partisan redistricting initiative to redraw Golden State's congressional map in a way that would net Democrats 5 extra seats. So he's responded in this tick for tack strategy to hopefully neutralize Texas's GOP efforts. So he's posted this map, and he has called on Trump to jump in and allow this not to go on in Texas. He's urging Texas not to do so, and I think it'll be very interesting to see what will happen. And also, I would say, spotlight on Gavin Newsom, because if you have Twitter or X, he has an account where I believe it's called it's not him, but it's like his press conference thing, whatever. Bruh, they have been mimicking how Donald Trump tweets. And when I tell you it is comedy, it is pure comedy.
Make government boring again,
bro. Please make that, bro. That's that's the merch we need right there, bro.
Make government boring. Again.
Make government boring again. But that is his response, and I'll say this as a spotlight, potentially future, the way Gavin is moving. Presidential.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Got a little presidential vibe to him right now. So, but yeah. I would be very interested, because if Texas does decide to go through with this, and Gavin Newsom, from what it seems already, he's ready and willing to stand on business, these efforts could be very telling. Yeah. So Texas might just need to hold off, man. Just win stuff fair and square. And if you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
You ain't got it.
And that's okay.
These are the lines you agree to. You hold on to them for 10 years, and then we can come back and reassess it.
That's all you got to do. But hey, you open the door. You can't be mad with what comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my spotlight for the week, man. So to our listeners, this is the end of our episode, episode 33 of season 2, or as we said before, the golden episode, as we have reached 50 episodes here at Pardon the Politics podcast. Man, I'm good, man. You got anything, brother?
I do have 2 very quick things that have just come in. So White House meetings have been announced for Monday. And what's going to happen is that President Trump is going to meet privately with Zelensky and their delegations first. The U.S. delegation and the Ukrainian delegation are going to meet first. Then they're expected to join a larger group session with potentially a lunch with the other European leaders that are coming to D.C. The topics that are on the docket to be discussed, none of which we should be shocked by, are Russia's demand for land concessions and what security guarantees for Ukraine look like.
Okay.
So that is the first thing. And the second thing, this is just for everyone to be mindful. As of right now, there is a very powerful hurricane spinning out in the Atlantic, Hurricane Aaron. As of right now, it is not, there's a high pressure system that's sitting over the U.S. that looks like it's going to keep it out to sea, but models are constantly updating. So to everyone, please stay aware of what's happening in your area, be in tune with local officials, and, let's be smart. As Pat McCrory would say here in North Carolina, don't put your stupid hat on.
Bruh. Now is not the time.
If they tell you to get out, grab your hat, grab your coat, leave, have a plan, be ready to react no matter what this storm does, not only for this one, but any others. So
that's a fact. Please be smart. Please be smart.
But that's all I got, man. I am excited. We've made it to 50 episodes.
Yeah, man. Hey, congratulations, brother.
Yeah, we did it.
It's been a pleasure, man. And
absolutely.
Here's cheers to 50 more and 50 more and 50 more.
And maybe they'll be a little bit calmer.
Bruh. Maybe.
Or maybe they won't. Or maybe they won't.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. At any rate, we're glad to be able to do this, having the ability to do it. But most of all, we are appreciative and grateful for our listeners, because without you, we couldn't do this at all. So we appreciate you tuning in. As always, remember that if don't nobody love you, know the boys here at the pod. We love you.
We love y'all.
Take care. We hope this episode finds you in great spirit, and we'll see you at the next episode.
See ya, y'all.